What are you doing? All right, everybody's water looks good, food looks good. Everybody's doing good. We're supposed to actually get a good bit of snow. I think 7 inches they're saying. And on top of that, we already had a couple inches on the ground. But today is Kaja's birthday, which is actually so hard to believe. So she had her birthday cake this morning, which was just a hunk of meat. I think she would rather have that than a birthday cake. It has been pretty darn cold this week. And tonight we're supposed to get into the single digits, which is kind of ironic because this morning when we woke up, we realized that our furnace wasn't running. And so Glenn looked at that and realized that there was a fan that had burned itself up because of a loose screw or something. I don't know. Anyway, Glenn can definitely fix it, but we have to order the part and it won't be here for several days. So unfortunately, we don't have our furnace for this cold snap. But luckily, if you remember, I think it was like a couple years ago, we installed 2 natural gas vented wall heaters. So we have those for backup heat, one in the bedroom, it's a smaller one, and a bigger one in our living room area. So we're gonna see how well they do trying to heat up. I think our house is like 2,000 square feet, trying to heat all that up during single digits. Should be interesting, to say the least. I still have a little bit of excess maple syrup from last year that I'm trying to get rid of because we're going to be tapping soon. And I think I'm going to take 2 pints of that and turn it into maple sugar. One of the things that we've wanted to be able to do for a long time, but haven't really gotten around to experimenting, is making our own sugar. We don't really consume that much sugar anyway, so it wouldn't seem like it would take a whole lot to be able to make all our own sugar. And originally our idea was to experiment with sugar beets, but the sugar beets that I had planted in the garden never did anything. I'm sure it was because of our clay soil. But you can make sugar out of maple sap, maple syrup. And in fact, little known to me was that the Native Americans, a lot of the Native Americans, tapped trees and turned the sap into sugar. So it's going to be really interesting to experiment with that and just see how much I can get, because if it's a pretty decent amount, then it might actually be easier than extracting sugar from sugar beets. You can just tap more trees if they're available. That whole process of turning syrup into maple sugar was incredibly easy. So I think that's going to be the way to go, as long as we've got enough trees to do it with. And interestingly, 1 pint of syrup turned into 1 pint of sugar, volume-wise. So it's a lot more than I thought we were going to get out of it. And the second batch that I did, because I did 2 pints, the second batch that I did ended up being more kind of like a wetter brown sugar, and maybe I should have went to a little bit higher temperature with it, but still plenty usable and good. Or maybe even it was a little more caramelized in when I was turning it from sap into maple syrup. In fact, turning sap into syrup takes a lot more work than turning syrup into maple sugar. Super simple and easy, just really incredible. And man, this stuff smells just decadent. I'm definitely going to be making more maple sugar this year once we tap our trees again, and once I kind of refine the process a little better, I'll walk you guys through the process of how I do it. Now, I've never actually successfully grown onions before, so this will be my 3rd attempt. those two natural gas heaters do a surprisingly good job of keeping the house warm. There's like a few pockets in, say, like the laundry room or something where it's a little cooler, but, and of course, like, you don't have the air circulation, so you end up with more like cool pockets in the house, but for the most part, it's very comfortable in here. It just really surprises me how good of a job those heaters do. And it's a good reminder to always have a backup heat source.
Watch out! Watch out, guys! Oh my God!
Check on my chickens. Hopefully we can get you out of there soon. This weather will improve. I'll tell you what, this was such a great test for those wall heaters. It's 14 degrees outside now, and it's going to continue to drop, and it's staying like a warm and cozy 70 to 73 degrees inside. There's no like extremely cold pockets or anything in the house. It's really kind of impressive. I don't know how they're able to keep the house as warm as they do, but they work so good. We actually did a couple videos on those like a couple years ago, and I'll put a link in the description to those. One was an install video, and I think the other one was a review video, but they'll be in the description if you want to look at them. All right, I'm gonna call it a day. It was a busy day. Kaj, you ready?